we began talking about cluster analysis. And at the beginning, I showed you some pictures, and what we realized was that we can categorize these various items, but categorization is not necessarily clustering, because categorization brings some predetermined criteria, and use those criteria or attributes to guide you to categorize. But in clustering, you tend to open up everything without any prejudice, and you look at your data set or evidence, the facts that you have, and then based on the objective that you want to achieve, that you then start clustering the evidence or the data. When we were trying to cluster the pictures that we saw, the visuals that we saw, we came up with different ways of clustering them. And what we found was, when we attempt to cluster in such ways, that we use various parameters to do that. And distance is one of those parameters, in that we can take the short distance, the shortest distance, average distance, or even the longest distance. So that's one parameter. The second is, we also can use the hierarchical technique, that is creating ladders or scaffolding it. We can start with one way of clustering and then include the clustering into a greater clustering and to a greater clustering and so forth. So it's like a pyramid, where top of the pyramid ensures that it covers all the items under the pyramid. So there are different ways of clustering. So that's what we came to realize. So cluster analysis is also considered as unsupervised learning, because we tend to we use a certain criteria and then we give some inputs, and based on the inputs that we provide, the clustering occurs. And another unique feature of cluster analysis is that there's no dependent variable. Yeah, there's no outcome variable that we look for. And we use the items to come up with various groupings. And therefore, it has that uniqueness. It's not depending on anything. So these various ways of clustering are given various terms in cluster analysis. One is called simple linkage. Another one is called complete linkage. And as we alluded to, we can cluster them using the hierarchical technique, that means scaffolding, or we can cluster without using the hierarchical approach. so which is the non-hierarchical. We also can combine both of them. And when we combine both of them, that's called the two-step approach.